Yeah, it's one of the things, when we have founder entrepreneurial businesses and those founders hit a certain stage, it can be a struggle in terms of what succession looks like, what an ownership succession plan looks like for a business. And this happens a lot in professional services businesses. It happens a lot in mid-market companies. And ESOP is one of the ways to ensure continuity of the business, to ensure a transition plan. And it drives recruitment and engagement, employee engagement. So how has HRG been able to educate people on what the ESOP culture means to them?
You really hit the important word. It is all about education. Right from the beginning, just talking about what that means to us as an employer and as an organization, talking to a prospective employee about what it might mean to them in terms of their benefits. Admittedly, some of our benefits might look a little different. We might distribute the proceeds from the business, if you will, in a slightly different way than some other companies might be, where it's just simply a cash bonus type situation. We're really looking to provide opportunities for people to build wealth, maybe even use the term generational wealth as an ownership type of investment. So we start right from the beginning, right from the interview process. We talk about it with our candidates. A lot of people are curious about it. They may know a little bit about it. Maybe somebody that they talked to prior to the interview mentioned it. So it always creates interest. And from there on, we just have a constant drumbeat, if you will, of messaging throughout the year. We recognize what it means to be an employee-owned company. Every spring, we have big events around the organization. We call it our Employee Owner Day. We get together, we learn, collaborate with each other, we celebrate, do fun stuff. Next year will be an all-company event, so we're already starting to plan for May of 2026, which is really exciting to start to think about. But throughout the year, we have a very active internal group, our ESOP Advisory Committee, which is a group of employee owners who kind of stepped forward, answered the call to serve in a different way. So they get some additional education from our leadership team and from outside sources to help them better communicate what employee owners can expect and what's expected of them to be part of this organization. I think the words that always come to mind for me in an employee-owned business is accountability, right? Accountability, we can push it down, the whole way into the organization. And I think one of the ways that became front and center to me was back during the pandemic when, everything went sideways. All of our business had previously happened in office locations, people sitting in buildings together, working on projects. All of a sudden, we had to send everybody home and just hope that it was going to work. And that was very reassuring to know that core value really of business stewardship that we talk about with our employee owners really showed itself. People were showing up, making sure that they were getting their work done, staying in communication with our clients, and really just demonstrating what it means to be an owner, not just an employee.
And for me, you nailed it. Every time you say employee, you say employee owners. And I can't tell you how many leaders say, I just wish our people would think like an owner. And in an ESOP, they're an owner. And when you refer to them as what they are, owners, how better to reinforce what's at stake for them? Do great work, to work great with each other, to serve your clients.
That's very true. I wasn't even aware of that at one point. It certainly is intentional, but I've had a number of people new to the organization say, do you always say employee owners? And I said, yes, I do, because it's important to us. It helps to tell the story of who we are. And more recently, I think as that employee owner mindset has matured at HRG, we've also heard it from our clients. They notice.
Wow.
They'll say to us things like, your employees just care a little bit more. They follow up regularly. They check in, they make sure, they make the extra phone call. And those are all things to me that really are demonstrating that ownership mindset in action.
That's awesome.